Okay, dear students, now we are here to start our new session, Geography. Lesson number 3rd. We were learning or we were discussing weather and climate. We already discussed weather and what is a climate, what is a weather, and how climate affects us, and weather elements and their observation temperature we completed. And today we are going to start wind speed and direction. So dear students, take out page number 24. So wind speed and direction. What do you mean by wind? Wind, as you know, is a horizontal movement of the air. From smaller class onwards we are learning wind means a horizontal movement of air. Air moves from an area of high pressure to an area of low pressure. That is what. Air moves from a high pressure area to a low pressure area. What do you mean by high pressure? Then high pressure means high density area of air. It can be cool air. Okay. Then what about low pressure? Low pressure means a place from where air is getting heated, and when air get heated, what happen? When air get hot, then its weight get reduced and it will go on top, and that place there is some emptiness of or some empty area of air, that is known as low pressure area. And this area, to this area where there is a cold air, that air will pass or fill to this empty space of a low pressure cold air from neighboring cooler high pressure area move in. That is what. So we see that variations in pressure causes wind. That's how we can say. So variations in air pressure, that is cause wind. Winds do not always blow with the same speed. We know sometimes a gentle breeze we can see. So then medium type of wind, then what will happen? Like a storm. The speed of wind depends on the pressure difference between two regions. That is what. If a low pressure area's width is increasing, then the movement of air will have more speed. The speed of wind depends on the pressure difference between two regions. When the difference is high, wind rushes from the high pressure region to low pressure region at a very great speed. During the storm, the speed of wind can be more than 100 km per hour. An anemometer. Anemometer is an instrument which is used to measure the speed of wind. Which instrument we use it? We use anemometer to measure the speed of wind. It consists of 3 or 4 cups attached to a rotating shaft. Something like this. This is what anemometer. Here this rotating shaft, 2 or 4 cups are being getting attached. According when wind blows, this will start to rotate. On this shaft, what will happen? This shaft, like our cars or buses, speedometer you might have seen. Same like speedometer we are fixing. When the speed increases, that indicator will move 40 kilometer, 60 kilometer, 100 kilometer, 120 kilometer, like that. Okay, this is what the movement shows. Then wind vane. Wind vane shows the direction of wind. This is what wind vane. According to wind's direction, then what will happen? This will rotate, this will turn, this will show, this indicator will show the direction of the wind. The instrument used for measuring, recording the direction from which wind is blowing is called a wind vane. It consists of a pointed and a vane fixed to the opposite end of a horizontal and rod pivoted at its center. Wind turns the vane towards the side to which it is blowing. According to its direction, this wind vane will move like this. Okay. So, then another important thing, a wind is named. We are giving different names to different wind. A wind is named after the direction from which it is blowing. According in which direction this wind will blow, and that name we will give to. For example, if wind is blowing from the north, wind is blowing from north side to south, then we will call it is a north wind. If it is coming from east, then we will call it east wind. Okay, if it is coming from west, then we will call it west wind. So, according to direction, we will name it. Humidity. Now, next important process, that is humidity. What do you mean by humidity? Humidity, air has a, we are saying air has a some particular capacity to hold water vapor. So, according to the temperature, it is increasing as it is decreasing. You know, beginning itself I said to you, when temperature increases, then what happens? Capacity of holding water vapor increases. So, when temperature increases, the water will get light weighted, and that will go on top, and the downside will get space for another one. So, it can easily hold more water vapor. That capacity, the capacity increases with the increase in temperature. The humidity of air is measured of the amount of water vapor present in the air. So, what do you mean by humidity? Humidity of air is measurement how much the water vapor present in that per unit of atmosphere, that is known as pressure. We can measure humidity in two ways. One is absolute humidity and another one is relative humidity. So, there is a absolute humidity, means in short way we can see the amount of water vapor present in a unit of volume is called absolute humidity. At present how much amount, how much quantity of water vapor present in here, that is known as absolute humidity. Okay, the amount of water vapor is generally expressed in gram, that we have to, water vapor we will express in gram, same time air we will take it in a cubic meter. Cubic meter. However, this measure is not generally used. We are not using it absolute humidity, we are not using to practice way. Why? Because it does not tell us how much more water vapor of air can hold at the same temperature. Only how much it is present it is saying, how much more it can hold, that is not saying. That is why it is not we are using in for our scientific purposes and all. So, dear students, next period we will discuss relative humidity. So, have a nice day. Learn all the points to remember. Take care. Thank you.